Hey, Bears fans. This is the Bears News Fan Report, and if you love the Chicago Bears and want to stay updated on everything about the team, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any breaking news like this. Are you ready for a piece of news that could completely change the NFL landscape? Something huge might be happening behind the scenes, and if it goes through, the entire league will be shaking. One of the most dominant defenders of today, a true nightmare for any quarterback, might be about to change teams. And guess what? There's a real chance he could wear the Chicago Bears colors. Sounds crazy? Maybe. But in the NFL, nothing is impossible. So, who's this defensive monster? Micah Parsons. Yes, the terror of offensive lines, a player who redefines the pass rusher position every season. According to Ian Rappaport from NFL Network, the Cowboys are already internally discussing Parsons' future. And when a name of that caliber is up for discussion, the entire league pays attention. The Dallas Cowboys have a dilemma: renew Parsons with an astronomical contract or trade him for a fortune in draft picks. With a fifth-year option coming up in 2025, the franchise has to decide whether to bet on a star or seek more balance in the roster. Stephen Jones, the team's COO, has made it clear that this decision is being carefully analyzed. And that's where the Chicago Bears come into play. The team desperately needs an elite pass rusher for 2024. Montez Sweat led the team with just 5.5 sacks last season, numbers that aren't enough to turn this defense into a dominant force. But the Bears have 2 first-round picks in the draft and plenty of salary cap space. In other words, they have enough weapons to make an aggressive move. Now let's get to the facts. The Bears are still in a rebuilding process and are not just one player away from the Super Bowl. But how many franchises would dare to ignore a talent like Parsons? Since entering the league, he's never had less than 12 sacks per season and has redefined what it means to be a defender in the NFL. Ryan Poles has to make a decision: stick with a long-term plan or take a giant step and bring in a player who could instantly transform this team. Yes, it would be costly. Yes, draft picks are valuable. But let's be honest. How many of these young talents will ever come close to the impact of a Micah Parsons? Now, we want to hear from you, Bears fans. Would you trade 2 or 3 first-round picks to bring in Parsons? Could he be the defensive leader this team is missing? What should Ryan Poles do? Stick to the long-term plan or go all in now? Leave your comment, share this news with your friends, and of course, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any updates on this potential trade. And it doesn't stop there. Imagine Micah Parsons wearing the Bears uniform and playing at Soldier Field in front of Chicago's passionate fans. It would be a game changer for the team's defense. His impact isn't just about the numbers. His presence on the field completely changes the game. He draws double teams, pressures quarterbacks like few others in the NFL, and frees up other defenders to shine. Now think about the fit. With Parsons on a roster, the Bears' front 7 would gain a whole new identity. He would form an explosive duo with Montez Sweat, instantly elevating the defense. Opponents would think twice before facing this team. And if the offense takes a leap forward, the Bears could go from being a promising team to a serious playoff contender faster than most people expect. But, like any big decision, there are risks. Investing heavily in a star like Parsons means sacrificing valuable draft picks. The Bears have a bright future ahead, and every pick could bring a promising young talent. The question is it worth betting on the potential of those young players or securing a player who is already one of the best defenders in the league? Ryan Poles will have to decide whether this is the right moment for a big move or if he should keep his patience and continue building the roster step by step. But one thing is certain: the possibility of seeing Parsons on the Bears is already making waves, and the fans have plenty of reasons to dream. And you, fan, if you were the Bears GM, would you take this risk? Do you believe Parsons could be the piece that transforms Chicago's defense? Leave your thoughts below, share this news with other fans, and of course, subscribe to the Bears News Fan Report to stay up to date with every detail of this potential blockbuster trade. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over. And when it comes to the NFL, anything can happen. I'm really torn about this possibility. On one hand, Micah Parsons is simply one of the most dominant defenders in the NFL. Not only does he rack up sacks like few others, but he's also versatile, fast, and capable of completely changing the level of a defense. A player of his caliber could immediately turn the Bears into a respected team, especially alongside Montez Sweat. But here's the flip side, the cost. 2 or 3 first-round picks is no small price, and the Bears are still in a rebuilding phase. Poles has done a solid job building a competitive team and clearing cap space for smart moves. If the Bears trade a truckload of picks for Parsons, they need to be sure he's the piece that'll take the team to the next level, not just a big name on a team that still needs more talent around him. What would make me support this trade without a second thought? If the Bears believe they can be competitive in the short term, this is the right move. If the offense develops and Caleb Williams becomes the QB everyone expects, then it makes total sense to invest heavily in defense and make sure the team is ready to compete in the playoffs. In the end, my opinion as a Bears fan would be this. If there's a real chance to compete for titles in the next few years, go for Parsons. But if the team still needs more pieces to get there, maybe it's better to hold on to the picks and build a more balanced roster. Either way, just seeing this possibility being discussed gives me chills. So, what do you all think? Is it worth going all in for Micah Parsons?